Hello and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. Man, I am so glad that you're here with me today. Whew, man, I bet for some of you this has been a crazy past few weeks, but I hope it has been worth it and things are starting to slow down as we slide into Christmas and the end of the year. Man, we've had a great time. Robin and I have been working hard, making things happen for our clients. And of course, making these shows still continue to happen despite being busy. You know how it is. You guys have a million things going on too. So thank you guys for being here. Before we get into today's subject, though, I want to encourage you to leave comments, hit that like button, hit that love button. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see right now, and if you've been here before, you already know this. But if you're here for the first time, I want you to give StreamYard, our platform that we use for this show, so that we can simulcast to multiple different places. We simulcast to 5 different Facebook pages, 2 different YouTube channels, and 1 LinkedIn page. And in order to do that, we use this program called StreamYard. But because of that, we can't see you unless you register. And the only thing you have to do is use that link at the bottom. It says streamyard.com/Facebook, and that's it. It causes us to be able to see you. And if you don't want to type that in, if you just go to the post that caused you to come here, where the post where the this video is playing right now, if you click, I think you have to click more to see it, but the link is there as well. But just go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and that causes me to be able to see you. And of course, I want you guys to let me know that you're here. And to do that, I just want you to click that. I want you to enter in the comments live, #live. And do one more favor for me and for all photographers as a gift from you. Share this with others. Just click the share button. It's there. It's real easy to just click it. And if there's someone who you want to bring on individually, then in the comment section, just write @ and then their name, and that will send them a message saying, "Hey, come over here." So share this with others. Let others experience this as well. Uh, hey, Jero, Dave, glad you're here. Uh, watching watching you while driving through North Texas. Oh, cool. I don't know who that is that's saying that because it's not showing it. It's not showing as registered. You could be. I have come across people who have done the streamyard.com/Facebook, and it still shows up as Facebook user. But by the way, if someone wants to remain anonymous, don't click that link because this is how you remain anonymous. Uh, howdy. So glad you guys are here. Let me know you're here by clicking that #live in the comments section. I see a whole bunch of Facebook users. Man, I'm glad you guys are here. Uh, Robin, glad you're here, Robin. So good. I love looking through these comments. You guys keep them coming. Uh, so I've got a handful of things I'm going to be sharing with you today about what to do before the end of the year. Now, some of these will apply to everyone. Some of these will be new that you hadn't heard of before, but none of it is life changing or just overwhelming. But each one of them, you're adding one little thing. Just your goal is to add one thing from what you've heard today. In fact, it should be that every single time that you're listening. You're not trying to add in everything. There's a ton of stuff to take in. But if you'll take in just one thing, and add it to your life, at least just for today or tomorrow or next week. But make sure that it does happen. Man, the accumulation of those good things is going to make such a difference in our life. Hey, Ashley, glad you're here. Uh, by the way, Ashley is uh, the person who, if you guys follow the San Antonio Photography Facebook page, one of her photographs, the example of her work, is the featured image for San Antonio Photography Facebook page. So thank you for creating the beautiful images that you do, Ashley, and thank you for being here. And let's see. Hey, Janice, glad you're here. All right. So here's what we're going to be doing before the end of the year. Oh, you know what? I guess there's a couple of things I should probably talk about. I like to take a photographer to lunch with me every week, and so to take advantage of that, all you have to do is go to this website that you see here on the bottom of the page, and you can do a screenshot of that. Let me put that in the comments section real quick. Copy that back on the screen and put this in the comments. Let's see. All right. So you should see that sitting there right now. Let's see. I had to reach over here for something. So yep. So showing up in the comments right now, lunch with Landers. Just click that link. You'll get a link to my schedule. It's my calendar. Just choose the Tuesday because I do this on Tuesdays. Choose the Tuesday that you're open, and we'll be going for lunch. My treat. I'm paying for it. And so all you have to do is show up. By the way, if you schedule something and you've got a crazy schedule and something comes up, just reschedule. There's a link at the bottom of the confirmation email that says reschedule. So just reschedule. No one's ever just not shown up, but there's been some who've let me know same day. Give me a little bit of time if you can, because I won't be able to replace you with a day's notice or less than a day's notice. But take advantage of that. We just sit and we enjoy some conversation, some good food. If it happens on one of my Rotary days, you get to hear a speaker, and then we get to talk. So take advantage of the lunch with Landers. Something else that I like to do for you guys, and I'll bring this back up here in just a little while, is the business assessment consultation. Now, for each one of you, I give this for free as my gift to you, up to one per year. And so this is when you click on this link, it's up to 60 days in advance. So that means 2023, and none of you have taken advantage of this in 2023. So, hey, no excuse for you not taking advantage of this. This is something that we do via Zoom. We just sit and talk for half an hour about you and your business, what's going on in your world, and see if there's something that we can do to push you in the direction that you already want to go. So that's what that is about, and I'll put that in the comment section as well. Now, there we go. All right, so just shortly that should start showing up in your comment section, so you can just click that link. It goes again straight to my calendar. This time it won't be limited to Tuesdays like the lunch with Landers is. It'll be much more open, and you can choose the time that works for you. By the way, this is getting kind of popular. It's quite possible that I won't be doing this forever, because man, giving away free 30-minute sessions, one is no big deal, but when there's a whole bunch of them, it takes a lot of time. I love doing it, and I'm going to do it as long as I can. But it is, I mean, a free business lesson, private, who passes that up? Nobody. So we get a lot of people doing that. So it may change. I may adjust it a little bit to just reduce the number, but take advantage of it while it's still just open. It's open for anyone who bothers to click this link and put themselves on my calendar. That's how easy it is. Again, if something comes up, because things come up, if something comes up, just click the reschedule link at the bottom of the email that you'll receive after going through that short process of clicking on a date and adding your name. I just click on the reschedule, and you can pick another day, 60 days in advance, up to 60 days. All right. So take advantage of that. I'll bring that up one more time today, potentially. Let me take those off the screen. There we go. Because this is what I want to talk about. What to do before the end of the year. Whew, man, 2022. It's almost over. Some of you are quite grateful for that. I don't think of it that way. I think, there's no such thing as good years, bad years. There's good moments and bad moments. I don't even think of good days and bad days. There's good moments and bad moments. But this time of year, my family is getting ready for all things Christmas. Then we'll be doing a short vacation in between episodes of the Portrait Prophet Show. And then we'll be going to a fun event for New Year's Eve. And I'm sure there are lots of things going on in your world, but I hope you're able to spend some quality time with those who you love and appreciate. You may be excited to jump into 2023, but we'll save that for next week's show. Because for today, for the most part, I'm going to suggest several things for you to do between now, December 19th, and the end of the year, December 31st. That's not a lot of days, but these things will be very easy, and you will be able to get more than one done, but at least do one. I want you to close out the reason I have these because I want you to close out 2022 on a high note, having accomplished even something small, so that you move into 2023 with a fresh perspective, a positive mindset, and, so much more. For those of you who don't know me, let me do a quick introduction. My name is Jim Landers, and my mission is simple. I help portrait photographers just like you make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and, of course, Landers Photography School. I'm so glad you're here. Now that I've given the intro to the our lesson today, what to do before the end of the year, I want to tell you I've got a handful of things, a dozen plus a bonus or two, things that I want to share with you. So get out your pen, get out your notepad, and take some notes. If some of these sound interesting, write them down. If they don't write them down. Pretty easy, huh? I've got a quote from someone named Jim Rohn. Have you ever heard of this guy? Well, he says, work harder on yourself than you do your job. And so some of the things that we're going to be talking about today won't be necessarily business related. They're going to be personal related as well. The first one I have to share with you is I want you to take a look at your normal routine. What is it you're doing here and there every day that is taking your time? It's causing it's causing you to be either directed in the right way or be distracted in a way that's not beneficial. But take a look at your normal routine. There may be some areas that you could improve. And it could be for yourself, it could be for your business, it could be for those around you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. But what are the things that you're doing on a normal basis? Now, if you have a list of things that you do as your daily normal routine, visit that. If you don't have a list of the things that you normally do, just your regular things that you would do no matter what, I'd say make a list. Take a look at the things that you're doing. How much time are they taking? Maybe a good self assignment would be to take a week or two and write down everything you do at the time that you do it. How long does it take? And then evaluate that at the end of a week or two long period, just to see if there's any adjustment that could be made to make you even happier than you are. Second one, I want you to add one. Oh, did I not add that yet? There we go. I clicked on the edit. There we go. I want you to add one good potential habit into your routine for the rest of this year. Again, it's just a handful of days, it's 12 days that are left in this year. So add one small thing. Maybe that's to get up 30 minutes earlier for the rest of the 12 days that are left this year. Maybe that's to go for a walk each day. Now, I know there's some weather coming in for a lot of the U.S. that either right now or coming up later this week. Here in San Antonio, we're supposed to get down into the 20s, which is really cold for here. But maybe you don't want to go on a walk that day. Maybe you do. It's up to you, but maybe add going for a walk. How about reading a book about business? There's enough time to read one book and hopefully have enough time to do so. On our trip, it's gonna be a road trip, so I'm gonna listen to audio books. Of course, the length of some of the audiobooks I listen to, I may just listen to one, but, that's what I'll be doing during the trip. Maybe read a book about building relationships. How about, envision how making the goal of this is to envision I want you to envision how making some small changes is gonna have a positive impact. You know this, but every once in a while, it's good to hear someone say it. So, the next one is I want you to make a list of things that you've wanted to do but haven't. Not yet. I want you to make that list. Take some time with it. Not a huge amount of time, but just take some time with it. You may already have this list. If you don't create it, make a list of the things that you've wanted to do but haven't yet. And I want you to spend a little time with this list and cross off the things that you don't think are quite as valuable anymore. They don't need to do them. You don't feel as strongly as you once did. Cross off those things and put a star next to those that you feel, I'm going to tackle this next year. I'm going to do this. Just put a star next to them. Next. By the way, if any of these are resonating with you, I want you to do me a favor of hitting that like button. Hit that like button. If you hear something that's like, yeah, I think I could do that. Hit that like button. If you've got some ideas, share them in the comments. So, for I've got a couple of questions I might ask throughout this that you may could add to the comments. But how about this one to add to the comments? What's one piece of advice, or maybe one short quote that has made an impact on you that you feel would be beneficial to others to know about as well? Share that with us. I'll give you just a moment. Not enough to type anything out, really. But what's one piece of advice, one quote? Maybe go look up a quote if you don't have one, but just give me one quote in the comment section that you feel is impacting you or is benefiting you, and therefore probably could benefit others as well. It's quite possible that the advice that you give may be something that really makes a difference in someone's day. So I want you to share that in the comments. And maybe I'll share them if I have time on here on the screen. We'll see. All right. So you've made this list of the things that you haven't done yet, but are have either been on your list, and then you're crossing off the ones that aren't quite as important anymore, and you're putting a star next to so everything gets either crossed out or a star. So leave nothing just blank. Either you're going to do it or you're not. Is the final thing here. But I want you to take one of those. Here's the next thing. Take one of those goals that you've just put a star next to and get it done before the end of the year. In other words, don't choose one that's going to take you months to accomplish. Choose one that's going to take a short period of time. For instance, here's the next one. Clean out one closet. Chances are you have little things like this that you never have an opportunity to get around to. Am I right? I mean, I've got some spaces that could use some decluttering. My garage is one of those, but that's a whole lot bigger than a closet. So I'm not really going to put that on my list to get done before the end of the year. Besides, it is packed with stuff from the office from when we moved out. And so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It doesn't have a place other than there where it is right now. It could be better organized, though. Maybe I'll tackle that. We'll see. But doing one little thing, especially something that is cluttering, that is a distraction. Our clutter or our disorganization, maybe you want to go through the images on your phone and organize those, or download them to your hard drive, and organize them in Lightroom, whatever it is that whatever process that you go through. But our clutter or our disorganization may not always be at the forefront of everything we do, but it does nag at us from time to time. So therefore, it does cause us some problems here and there every once in a while. You know this because it crosses your mind every once in a while. So therefore, it is taking up resources that could be used for other things. So clean one closet, organize one drawer, organize your own personal photographs. Next one, I want you to make a list of 10 people who have helped you in some way. They've had your back in some way. They've been a hero to you in some way. Someone who it could be someone close to you, it could be a friend, it could be someone that you talk to every once in a while. It could be someone you've never spoken with in your entire life, but they've had an impact on you. I want you to make a list of just 10. By the way, if you've watched all of the episodes, you've probably seen one where I recommend creating an, a list of things you're thankful for that you can have an opportunity to acknowledge those things. And you just make this list, and you have as part of your list a space or a column where where you've got a check mark where I have sent them a message of some sort, a handwritten message, an email, just sharing with them how much I appreciate who they are and what they've done for me. Acknowledge those people, and you'll get more of the things you're grateful for. That's just how it works in life. Too many of us appreciate in silence. There's no benefit to that. There is extreme benefit to showing appreciation to those who you appreciate. Let them know. Many of them will do the same and continue. Some will do more than they've ever done before. Let them know. Make a list of 10 people that have had your back. Your goal really is to make sure that these people who are fueling you know how much you appreciate them. So I want you to write a handwritten letter to all 10, letting them know how grateful you are to have them in your life. Let them know. Now, uh, I'm sure every one of you uses Digital ProLab for your printing. And I assume all of you print, but I don't know that. But Amanda and her team at Digital ProLab are heroes, in my opinion, because they are doing things that make us look amazing. They are keeping the quality level up. They are checking everything as it's going out. They are doing things as quickly as they're able. I know this time of year, they're crazy busy, ridiculously busy, which is great for them. But it does cause things to take a little bit more time as a result. But they are getting things out as quickly as possible. They are working hard. They're giving all of themselves to you. Maybe Amanda and her team at Digital Pro Lab should occupy one of these spaces on your top 10 list of people who have had your back. I guarantee you they will appreciate a letter like that. All right, next one. This one's more personal. I want you to plan a day trip for you. Now, maybe you'd prefer a day trip that is with you and a significant other. That's fine. But if you've never had just some time alone to go do you, I want you to do that. That's what I'm suggesting. That's what I'm recommending. Be you for a little while. Go to some small neighboring town and walk along Main Street, stopping in at all the shops. Have lunch by yourself. Now, I know some of you really can't stomach that, and you really need someone around. That's fine. You, do what's comfortable for you. But maybe stepping out of your comfort zone has some benefits. So plan a day trip. Maybe just a lunch outing with some walking time afterwards. So a partial day trip. But plan something for you between now, today, and the end of the year. Just something where it's you or you and one other person, if you feel more inclined to do that. Or if you haven't done that in a while, maybe plan a date night. But plan something that is not work related, not getting things done, not organizing, not bills related, something where you can step away from all that for just a little while. Plan it. A day trip for you and or maybe a significant other. It could be a good friend. If you haven't done something with a good friend in a while, this is a good opportunity to do so. And a lot of us haven't. So reach out to that friend, plan something, even if it's just lunch. If you follow me on my Facebook page, you probably saw just recently that I am recommending that you invite someone to lunch. Now, you know about my lunch with Landers because I mention it usually here on the Portrait Profit Show. But I do that and sometimes additional. So reach out to someone who you haven't had lunch with lately or would like to spend just a few more minutes with and take them to lunch. If you can't afford it, well, then, make sure they know we're that they're paying for theirs and you're paying for yours. But if you can afford to pay for it, do that. Take them to lunch. All right. Next on my list for today is I want you to research one thing that is scaring you. Now, scaring, I don't mean like it's, Halloween and something's jumping out of, you're um, uh, at a man, what's that called? The haunted house. You you go to a haunted house and something jumps out from behind a door or wall, and scares you. I'm not talking about that kinda scared. I'm talking about in life. There are things that slow you down, scare you, cause you to be a little concerned or, avoid. Research one of those things. Take some time, just look into it. Find out ways that others have been able to figure out a way to get past their concerns, their fears. Because people just like you have done just that. They're not any better than you. You might be better than them. They just figured something out. Have you crossed paths with someone who is not that great, who is further along than you are? Uh-huh. Of course you have. Probably because they faced some fear. Maybe they had some help in doing so. But when you get past these things that hold you back, and there's a ton of them and they'll always exist, but if we can reduce the number of those things, you know that you're going to be benefited by that. Your life improves by that just a little bit. But if you get enough of these little bits, man, you'll be heading the direction you want to go. So research. Now, what does that mean? YouTube. Good way to research stuff like that because you've got a question here. You know something. YouTube is fantastic education for questions you have that you don't have answers to. Now, it's not beneficial for those who don't know enough to ask questions. So therefore, that's why there's lots of different types of education. But if you've got a question, YouTube's a good way to go. Or reaching out to someone who has already been where you want to go. Make sure when you're reaching out to someone that they've experienced what it is you want to experience. Otherwise, you're probably not getting very good advice. And also make sure you're taking advice from people who understand that there isn't one way to accomplish one thing. There's a lot of ways to accomplish one thing. And the way they do it versus the way you do it may be completely different. But if they end up with the result you want, then that's what matters. I want you to research, spend some time with something that scares you. You know the things that scare you or bother you or make you uncomfortable. It could be talking to people. It could be talking in front of a group of people, which you might have thought of when I said the first one. But some are just in talking with another are scared. They may not just define it that way. They may be nervous. They have anxiety, and I know I don't come across as that person, but I have that. I do have anxiety when I'm talking to people. I do look at other people and think of them as being better, and which is a benefit I think to me because I believe that I can learn something from everyone, even people I don't like. I actually sometimes seek out people who I know have a different opinion, who are strong in that opinion simply because there's something there that I clearly don't know because I just think of them as they are confident in their opinion. So therefore, there must be a reason why I want to learn it. Now, I'm not learning it so that they can change my mind. I'm I want to seek out this additional information so I can open my mind further than it is. There's some things we're closed-minded on. Let's reduce those. Let's open our mind to things that we don't know. Seek out those people who have this information. And yes, it's going to scare you. But the more of that you have, the less you come across as anxious. And I think that's how I've been able to accomplish it because of reaching out to people, even though it made me anxious or scared. And talking with people, especially, growing up a teacher or an administrator of a school, they are at a different level. So therefore, that makes me anxious, makes me scared. But even though I have that anxiety, I can talk to them, but I haven't always been able to do that. It's been putting myself into the things that make me uncomfortable. By the way, they still make me uncomfortable, but you just probably don't notice it. And that's good enough. It works. It's a solution that not everyone's going to take. But if it gets you to where you want to go, yay. Research one thing that scares you. And all I'm doing here is asking you to research it. I'm not asking you to make any changes yet. I hope that's the direction you go on your own. But I just want you to research solutions that others have tried, and maybe that will spur you into action. I'm just asking for you to research it. Maybe make a list of a handful of things and pick one. Maybe at random, because if you're picking from a list of things that make you anxious, that may make you even further anxious. All right. So, next one, I want you to revisit or write your goals for the future. Now, I'm hoping that you've written goals for the future, that you have written goals, the things that you want out of this life. I'm hoping that you have those written where you can see them every day, not in some stack where you'd have to search, you'd have to look for it in order to find it, but actually up in your workspace on a wall somewhere where you can see it. You can visit it, you can spend time with it, you can adjust it as needed. That's where I hope your goals are. And a whole bunch of other things in your life, I think, should be right here in your environment where you are looking at it. You are constantly realigned by it. So I want you to revisit or write, if you haven't already, your goals for your future, for your life. I don't mean for 2023. We'll be talking about 2023 in next week's show on Monday the 26th. But today I'm talking about your life. What do you want out of this life? What would be ideal? Take away those things in your mind, such as money. Don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about that right now. You've got other things to worry about. Let's pull that out temporarily while we're doing this particular assignment. Time. Take time out of it temporarily. Well, obviously, we're going to have to put money and time back into the equation, but we don't want those things hindering what we feel our ideal life should look like. Make sure that it is realistic, that it's possible for a human to do, but not so simple that you could do it next week and be done. What does your ideal life look like? And I want to add one more thing. Do not be selfish in your definition. What does that mean? Only look towards you. I've come across a lot of people who say, "Oh, well, I've got everything I want." Mhm. What about the things you want for others? Oh, I didn't think about that. What do you mean? Well, a lot of us have things that we want to give to others, that we want others to experience because we can help them. Include that. So, yeah, you may have accomplished all the things you want for you and your family, but what about the things that you believe in? The different charities, the different organizations that you want to further? Maybe there's a photography museum somewhere that you want to donate time or money to. What do you want outside of you has to be part of your ideal life, right? Unless you're selfish and you're only thinking about you and your immediate family. I'm not saying don't think about those are number 1. But if you have already accomplished, I've come across a lot who said, "I already have what I want. I've already accomplished this. I'm set. I'm good." This is not where we stop. What do you want for the world? What do you want for the environment? What do you want for the things that you value in your environment? You have to include those in what you want out of this life. Start with you, your immediate family, not your business. This is what you want out of life, not what you want out of your business. Your business stuff should not be on the list. Not that list. It will be on a list. What do you want out of this life? Now, you may say, well, I want a business that's running and doing well. Okay, that's a tool to help you get what you want out of life. What do you want out of life? A home, 2 homes, vacation home, whatever you want. Some of you think, I don't need that. Well, maybe you're doing it for others. I know a couple who has a home, but they are saving up money to buy a ranch home where they can have families and kids come and visit. So it's a second home, but it's also for something that they find that they value. They want to be able to bring other people to it. I know someone else who has some property, or at least they're planning on buying some property, where they want to be able to invite photographers out to hang out for a day, for an overnight stay to watch stars or what the critters that come out at night. But this is beyond them. What do you want for you? What do you want that's beyond you? What do you want in an ideal life for you? Hi, buddy. My dog, Gray, a husky 3-year-old, just came to say hi. So I'm giving him little scratches. Hi, bud. Sometimes he used to jump up on me to say hi to the camera, but he hasn't done that in a while. I guess he's calming down. Huskies are crazy, but they're awesome. All right. So that was revisit your goals. Now I want you to reach out to someone where your relationship has faded. Now, this doesn't mean that it's bad. It could be. But this is just reach out to someone over the next several days. One person. You may be inspired to do this for more, but I'm asking for one. Reach out to one person where the relationship has faded. It could be because of something that was said. It could be something that a disagreement, but it could also be time. Your directions are different. You just haven't had the opportunity to spend time with them for other reasons. Reach out to one person where the relationship has faded. Now, this could be a business relationship, maybe something that happened over the last year or maybe multiple years, or maybe things that changed because of COVID. And now things, as they come back to normal, which in a lot of the areas have, but not every area. And maybe then it's a normal that is different than it has been before. But maybe some of those relationships haven't come back. Reach out to someone who fits the description of the relationship has faded, where you just haven't communicated as much as you once did, or you're not communicating as much as you want to. Reach out to someone where the relationship has faded. So I'm going to stop real quick. Do any of these resonate with you? I've brought up now 10. I only have a handful more. Do any of these resonate with you? Can you see how any of these could be beneficial to you? All I want you to do in the comment section is write yes, or thank you, or that's a good one. Communicate with me. Let me know what you're feeling about this. Don't just listen, or don't just listen and write notes. This is interactive. Get into the comment section. Say something. Let me know you're here. I'm not here to talk to myself. I want to know that you're here. Yes, I can see that there are 5 different places, 8 different places where there's at least one person watching. I can see that the one that has the most is 12. I can 14. So I can see that there's a lot of people watching, and there's one place, a Facebook page where only one person's watching. So, but don't feel like you're alone because there's only 1 or 2 or 10 other people around. This is being simulcast to several different places. You couldn't possibly know how many were watching, and I actually don't know how many are watching. But I want you to interact from your place. All of the Facebook pages I'll be able to see here. The other ones I actually I may not. I'm not sure. But let me know that you're watching. Click on that like button. Click on that love button. Hit yes. Uh, Tell me what it is you're feeling. Earlier, I asked if you could give me a quote. Just share something that you find inspirational. If you haven't done that already, write it down. It may be that you go online right now real quick and enter an inspirational quote and find one, or maybe one you know, but you just can't remember it. You can just copy and paste, make sure you cite who said it, and place that right now into the comment section. But if this is resonating with you, if any of these things so far have resonated with you, give me a yes, give me a thank you, give me, I appreciate this, something that lets me know that I'm not here talking to myself. Thanks, guys. I can see a couple of you already have, so that's good. Oh, that's a good one, Sierra. I like that. If you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Yeah, you're not growing. Now, maybe you're being paid to speak in that room. Okay, so there's an exception, but I totally agree with that one. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, Francis, I'm glad you're here. Thanks, Janice. Awesome. Jerome, Ashley, Dave. Woo, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So uh, this yeah, so the last one was reach out to someone where the relationship has faded. And the next one is I want you to write a personal mission statement for the year 2023. A personal mission statement. Now, this is different from a business mission statement. It's very similar, but a personal mission statement is a little longer. Your goal for a business statement is maybe 1 or 2 sentences. It's really short. This is gonna be a little bit longer, although it's still really short. I don't want the details, but just the overall mission for 2023. This is you're gonna spend a little bit of time with this. Just write down the things that are important to you, write down the things you want to accomplish, write down the kind of person you want to be for yourself, for your business, and for others. So if you are married, there's something you want to do. You want to describe yourself in a way that married or significant other that you want to be for this year. I'm not saying you need to commit to that for life. I'm just saying, who are you going to be this year for that person? Who are you going to be for your business? Who are you going to be for you? Who are you going to be for parents? Who are you going to be for teachers? Who are you going to be? What's your goal? What's your mission statement? Now, you're going to write down several things and then you're going to condense it into your personal 2023 mission statement. Then you're going to print it and put it up where you can see it. Again, helping to align you. We go off track constantly. And it's because we've got fantastic, wonderful, creative minds. We need to rein that in a little bit because our minds go to this interesting thing and to that interesting thing, and we keep on it just moves around because our minds are fantastic and wonderful and creative. But if we allow that to go unchecked, we don't accomplish much. So what we have is wonderful, but we have to control it. So write your 2023 mission statement. I want you to consider Things like family, health, friends. Maybe you want to travel, maybe just a day trip, but maybe travel. Hobby, maybe you have a hobby. Contributions to whatever you feel is important in the world. It could be an organization, a local organization, small. It could be a big one. It could be you doing something specifically, but what contributions to improve the world around you is something you may consider. You may consider the spiritual side of things if you're inclined for that, and many of us are. So that's an important thing to consider. So a lot of these things, a lot of these personal things, in addition to business. Now, business is a part of this, but it's not the only thing. Yes, this is the Portrait Profit Show, and we talk mostly about business side. But if we don't have a strong foundation outside of business, then everything you learn about business has no foundation to sit on. We have to have a strong personal foundation for this stuff to work. So I encourage you, push yourself in that direction. Write a 2023 mission statement. And if you're so inclined, send it to me. I'll take a look at it and we can discuss it even. So, 2023 mission statement. Next, this is going to be a fun one. And I want you to do it soon. At least begin it soon. Begin it today. I want you to write a letter to yourself and open it 1 year from the date you wrote it. So you're writing a note to yourself 1 year in the future with all these things that we've just been talking about. Who are you in 2023? You'll be able to look at this letter and see, did I accomplish what I needed to? And the benefit of that is you'll be able to see ways that you actually did improve you, that you just didn't notice. There's a lot of things that you've improved over the last year that just happened kind of slowly, so you didn't even notice it. But if you're looking back, you're looking at this letter, these are the things I want to accomplish. You're going to look at it and think, huh, I did do a lot of those things. I didn't do all of them, but I did a lot of them. And I want you to focus in a year from now on those things you did right, that you accomplished, that you improved yourself with, and celebrate it. Write a letter to yourself to be opened at the end of next year. I want you to write about your current joys and your current concerns. I think you should include in your letter the goals that you've accomplished this past year, the things you're proud of. And of course, include the goals you anticipate for next. Include these things in that letter to you. Make sure you put it in a place where you can find it real easily. And the last one I have for you is, oh, and that's not it. But I'll ask that question in the comments section. What has changed for you? I realize that something's wrong with the spelling there. Let's see. Now it's correct. What has changed in the past year for you or your business? I want you to put this in the comments. Now, if you don't want to tell everybody what has changed, or maybe something there's just it's not something you share, just write the first letter of it. What is something in the past year that has changed for you or your business? This is in the past. What has changed? Write one word, just one word. Maybe you need to go into a little bit of detail, but make it very short, or just the first letter. So maybe you've completed for the first time ever your own business mission statement. Maybe you have written your policies for your business. Maybe you have written your value statement or your vision statement for your business. Maybe you've started taking classes that help benefit you and your business. Maybe you've increased your prices to where you're actually profitable. So you can put P for profitable if you don't want to write out the word profitable. And I understand not always do we want to share that, but the first letter is not sharing anything that you'd be embarrassed by or not want to be asked questions about. So what has changed in the past year for you or your business? One word. Giving you a second to do that. Shouldn't take you long. Mm, good coffee, Robin. Thank you. All right. The next thing I want you to put in the comments is for the future, for 2023. What do you want to change in the next year for you or your business? Again, write one word or one short sentence. I want this to be quick. I want you to be able to do this right now. And it's just one thing. You've got a million things you want to accomplish next year. Of course, one of them. That's all I'm asking. Write one. And if you don't want to write it out, just write one letter. Maybe it's you want to make sure that you never miss a single episode of the Portrait Profit Show. Obviously, I'd like that. And I feel it would be beneficial. But what is something you want to do this next year? One thing of the many things you want to accomplish. Pick one. It doesn't matter. It's not the best one. It's just one. Write down one word or one short sentence or just the first letter of it. Something you want to accomplish in the next year. Mhm. So I have one that says Facebook user, and based on what this person wrote, I think I know who this is. All right. That's a good one. Yep. A lot of times our work takes precedent over everything. Ugh. But if we had a better plan, maybe that wouldn't happen. So thank you for sharing that one. Daily goals. I like that. Yep. Increasing the clientele. So you want more people to work with. So that means you're sitting at home wondering what to do next. Is that what that means? I doubt that's what that means. I know you're busy, Ashley. And let's see, Francis, unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thank you for sharing that one, Francis. I like that. Increasing prices, become more organized. Yeah, these are great ones. Very good. Okay, that's easier said than done, Sierra, but I totally am with you on it. And we all have this. I don't know that there are very many to get away with never feeling this, and so this is real. We all get to those, and it may not be heavy on us every day or every moment of every day, but we all experience this where we feel like we're not enough, where others are better than us, and well, someone's always going to be better than us in most situations, and but this is real. Thank you for sharing that one, Sierra. Yeah, good. Increase prices. Good. And there's a lot of ways to do that. There are only a handful of smart ways to do that for your business. Now, there's a lot of ways, period. This is like there's a lot of tools in a tool store, but increasing your prices or increasing your clientele, there's a handful of a combination of tools that will help you with your own personal business. So make sure you're focused on you, your goals, what you're trying to accomplish out of this life, and make sure the tools that you choose align with that. Because there's a lot of good things in a tool store, but not all of them are going to help you reach your goal. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that one. Yeah, I agree with that too. But you seem to do a good job with that. Excuse me, Francis. You seem to do a good job with that kind of thing. But I can understand wanting it more. Want to do that more. Good. Thank you guys for sharing those. All right. So I said that there was one more that I wanted to mention, and I actually said that earlier that I was going to bring this back up. Schedule one of my free business assessment consultations. Now, some of you do this all the time. There's a handful of you that at least once a month are visiting with me. I only give once a year, unless you're part of my career photographer program, and then that's a totally different thing. Then you get a ton of them. But the career photographer program is for those who are serious. I mean, they really want to make photography their income source, and they're willing to put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. Okay, maybe not the blood part, but the sweat and tears, because it's what it takes. Of course, it's doing something you love, and you're going to be putting sweat and tears into something. It may as well be something you enjoy doing. I'm thinking, up to you. So schedule that free business assessment consultation, and let me put that URL up again real quick. Let's see. Oh, I deleted it instead of copy. All right. So in the comments section, you should now start seeing this link that takes you to the business assessment consultation. None of you have scheduled for 2023. So therefore, you get one per year. So that means all of you who are watching now absolutely can can take advantage of this. Just use the link that you see in the feed underneath the video you're watching. Just click that link and it'll take you to my calendar. By the way, um, let's see. Oh, no, that doesn't apply in this instance. But so schedule that business assessment consultation. It's free. Did I mention that? I'm not charging you for it. So what's the benefit to me? Every once in a while, I come across someone who says it must be a sales call. You're trying to sell it because nothing is free. There are times when someone asks about what I sell, and I will answer their question. But if they don't ask what classes I have available or what they might be able to do next, I don't do anything in the sales direction at all. I don't mention prices. I don't mention, we don't talk about that. That's not what this is about. This is about you. And it keeps me like if I was a razor, it's sharpening me by hearing lots of different points of view, by hearing the problems or concerns that you have. It makes me better at what I do. So therefore, yeah, I do use these as a tool to make me a better teacher, a better for my students. So that's the benefit to me. I stay sharp. At least that's the intent. Just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess that is too. So schedule that free business assessment consultation using the link that is on your screen, or excuse me, in the news feed. By the way, if you're watching live, do me a favor, enter in hashtag live in the comments, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Let me know that you are here. And let's see. Was there something else that I already threw in that bonus? Let's see. You know what? I'm curious. Think about this for a second. What do you feel? Let me put this on the screen. What do you feel it is that is different from other photographers? What do you feel makes you different? Because if you're in a crowd of photographers, what is it that causes you to stand out? Now you may be thinking, well, that's a question I have for you. What does it take for me to stand out? If you're doing the same thing everyone else is doing, I'm telling you, and you know it, you're not going to stand out. So stop doing what everybody else is doing. You know this. You've said those words before, or you've heard them and agreed with them. So stop doing it. If you're looking at what other photographers are charging, you are putting yourself in the middle of the crowd. Stop doing it. Now, I'm not saying that if you have a curiosity, uh, don't even feel that curiosity. Do go in there and be curious, but it has nothing to do with your prices. If you're looking at what everybody else is photographing or the locations that they're at, guys, if you're going to the same locations everyone else is, how are you standing out? I see this all the time. I get questions all the time. People saying, "Where's a good place to do family portraits? Where's a good place to do senior portraits?" And if you're new here, I can understand why that might you maybe have an interest. You may have an interest in that. But if you go to where the popular places are, that's going to be something observe that someone could observe as being the same as, in other words, putting you in the same grouping as another. And we want you to stand out from the group. You want you to stand out from the group. So you've got to define who you are. So you start not with what you're going to do for the business. You start off with what's my ideal life look like. That will help you determine ways to make you stand out from the crowd. So we don't start off with the ideas of business. We start off with the ideas of personal. What helps you reach wherever it is that you're going? So while let's this I do this analogy all the time. Let's just say it's a road trip. If you ask the group, what's the best road? We're going on a road trip, so knowing good roads to take that's good, right? Of course it is. But if you just ask what's the best road, well, then the person who's going to the valley is going to give you a different answer than the person who's going up to Dallas Fort Worth area. They're both going to be right, but they may neither be right for you. It's why you've got to determine your destination or destinations, not ask for advice first. Advice should only be asked when you know exactly where you're going. Otherwise, it harms you to get advice because you are getting good advice. It's just not the right advice. And success doesn't come between the difference between good and bad. If you're putting all good things in front of you, you are going to fail. That's just how it works. The difference isn't between good and bad. The difference between success and failure is the difference between good and right. What is right to help you reach the destinations that you want out of this life? It becomes obvious to you. Everything is good that you put in front of you, but is everything right? Is it actually helping you reach your goals? You won't know until you've defined them. So you start by defining you. What do you want out of this life? Above all of the 12, 13, 14 items, things that I just gave you to consider doing, the number one above all is, in my opinion, define the ideal version of your life without considerations from other things that normally inhibit your ability to grow. Money, time, other people's opinions. Take those out. Define what you want out of this ideal version of you and your life. And that will give you the direction you need to make your decisions. You guys are awesome. I am glad that you're here with me today. The next Portrait Prophet show is the day after Christmas. And so for those of you who celebrate Christmas, I hope that you're able to celebrate with those who mean a lot to you. Make sure you let them know. Acknowledge them, appreciate them, tell them how much they mean to you. The next episode is, and as you guys know, every single week, Portrait Prophets is here on Mondays at noon. with the exception of the second Monday of every month, where we move it to 6:30 in the evening, and we bring in 3 photographers or 3 people who would have an interest in or know something about the topic, and we talk and we hear different points of view. But no matter what, it's every single Monday. And, let me tell you about the last show of 2022. The last show of 2022 is the last-minute review of your 2023 plan. What are we gonna do? And if you've done some of the things that we talked about today, even if you haven't planned out 2023 yet, which I'm hoping you have, but if you haven't, the things that we're talking about today will help you with this. And again, everything is based on the foundation of you knowing what you want out of an ideal life. The business plans don't matter unless you know that. So be here noon on December 26th for the last minute review of your 2023 plan. It's possible I will have to record this and play the recording. In the meantime, I don't know if I'll be live. The information will be fresh, but I don't know if I'll be live because we are going to be taking a short week-long trip to visit family, and I don't know what time we're leaving. So either way, it's gonna happen noon on Monday. Put it on your calendar, 2026. It's every single Monday. So I hope to see you here every Monday for the Portrait Profit Show. And if you guys, do me a favor at the end of each session of each show, I like to put the words of encouragement, the thank yous, the I appreciate this. I like to put those at the end. And so if you don't mind right now, put some of those that I appreciate this. Thank you for this, or I like this, or a quote, or something that meant something to you. And I'm going to put those up at the end of the show. At once this ends, right at the end, when things are coming just closing down, I put up those comments. And so do that for me real quick before I bring this to a close, or as I'm bringing this to a close. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show, giving you evolving content, awareness, and even fun to the business side of photography through helpful information, step-by-step processes, and action steps that will guide you through the struggles you deal with now, so you are constantly realigned to the success that you deserve. Be here every Monday to hear a different way of looking at the business side of photography. Thank you for investing your time here at the Portrait Profit Show. Thank you, guys. Bye for now.